call upon the Chair of Governors, Mrs. Angela Briggs, to address the audience.
Honoured guests, governors, staff, graduates, family and friends, I declare this ceremony open for the purpose of conferring degrees and presenting awards. As a new chair of the governing body for DN Colleges Group and University Centre, it gives me genuine pleasure to present this year's degree and certificate awards to a very successful group of young graduates. Attending here today, you have every right to feel enormously proud of your achievements, as I'm sure do your family and friends. I also know that your tutors, the college governors, the senior leadership team and all at Doncaster College University Centre are equally as proud of your outstanding achievements. You wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for your tenacity, hard work and dedication. It's these qualities and your capacity for hard work that will serve you well in your future employment. You demonstrate in abundance the qualities that employers are looking for, both locally, nationally and internationally. And I'm sure that they will think themselves very lucky to have secured you in their employment. Following your success, and as you embark on a new and exciting chapter in your life and career, I'm sure that you'll now have the confidence and resilience to meet challenges head-on as you grasp opportunities that come your way. We look forward to hearing all about the wonderful things you've done and achieved. You are fantastic role models for all the young people who will follow in your footsteps. So, congratulations to all of you on behalf of the staff and governors, and I wish you every success in all that you do and aspire to in the future. And I now call upon the Chief Executive Officer of Doncaster College and University Centre, Anne Tyrrell, to come and address the audience. Thank you.
Honoured guests, Deputy Lieutenant, Civic Mayor, Governors, staff, family, friends, and of course our talented graduates. It's an honour and a privilege to address you today. You really are a significant source of pride for us, and we are justly proud of your achievements. We are also proud of our excellent staff team who have worked hard to support you, helping you to build your confidence, build that belief in your own ability, and I'm sure that you will build on your own success. The University Centre here grows from strength to strength, working locally, regionally, nationally and internationally. The University Centre at Doncaster College is our local university. It is your university, working in partnership with the University of Hull, with Cumbria University and with Sheffield Hallam. We have established a proud tradition of graduating in Doncaster. Doncaster is ambitious. It's the fourth fastest growing economy in the country, and we believe in and are ambitious for Doncaster. Doncaster University Centre is proud to be playing a major part in Doncaster's aspiration to be a university city, and we believe that our long-established university presence will and must play a significant part in realising Doncaster's aspiration. We're unlike other universities in so many different ways. Our graduates are more likely to be local, more likely to stay locally, more likely to work locally and live in and around Doncaster. And as a graduate, you are also more likely to earn more and contribute to the skills really needed in this area by employers. The higher level skills that you have acquired will benefit you, will benefit our employers, and will benefit the communities in which we live. Our vision is to transform our communities through learning, an ambition that drives us, knowing the impact that we have and the positive difference that we can make to people's lives. You are all an inspiration to others, and don't underestimate the impact that your own achievement is going to have on that world around you. Others are going to aspire to emulate you, motivated by your very personal stories about your journey. Your time and experience here at Doncaster University Centre will have changed the way you think. It will have changed the way that you see the world and the way in which you will, with greater confidence, take forward your careers and your ambitions. And it's not just what you've learnt. You know, that's going to ensure that future career success. It's also about those skills and attitudes that you've acquired. A university education brings a critical and a curious mind, and your demonstrated skills and attitudes to work are those sought by employers looking to recruit a qualified, competent and productive workforce. We all have those moments when we're never going to believe we get to that next step, and I'm sure there's been times along your journeys that you've all had those moments too. Yet that resilience that we build, the sacrifices that we make, that gets us through and beyond those moments and takes us further than we ever believed we could. And all of you today here should be so proud. You should be proud of that seat that you're sitting in, because it's yours, and it's yours by right, and it's yours because you've earned it. And you have earned that through hard work, through commitment, through sheer determination to succeed, and through motivation, driven by that knowledge and self-belief. Learning is so powerful. Learning can and does unleash something in you that you never believed existed. It takes you to that extra level where you know that you have achieved more than was ever possible. At the University Centre, we know that success comes from partnership. It's one of our core Aspire values, as well as hard work and sacrifice. And that's partnership between our students, families, friends, teachers, employers and staff. And I'm sure that you will want to thank them for the support that they've given you over your student years. And they're going to want you to make the most of those skills that you've learnt and that you've developed to go on to a successful future. And so do we. So at this point, I would like all our graduates to stand up, please. And I'd like you to give a round of applause for all those that have supported you to get you where now. Thank you. It's just to warm up your clapping muscles. You may sit down. And please, do take time. When you come up onto this stage, take time to enjoy your moment. Take time to congratulate yourselves and take pride in your achievement. And make that moment last a lifetime. You will remember it. Use it to build that belief in yourself, and that's going to take you to that successful future. And make sure that you keep in touch with us too, and let us know that your proudest moments in future years too. So I grew up reading Winnie the Pooh, and have since realised that along with many esteemed academics, that Winnie the Pooh was actually a great philosopher. So, in his words, always believe that you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So please join me in congratulating all our graduates. We wish you all the very best luck for the future. And we're now going to go on and record and celebrate your success. Thank you.
As Director of Higher Education, I'm pleased to receive the candidates who successfully completed their studies in the academic year 2017-18. I ask Colin Johnson, Associate Dean for Student Experience in the Faculty of Health Sciences at the University of Hull, to congratulate graduates by shaking their hands. Will candidates prepare to come forward to receive your awards? AAT Professional Diploma in Accounting, Ivona Bodzilla. Sam Clayton. Vicky Gresham. Helen Jessup. Jodie Radosta. Rhiannon Sloan. Certificate in Human Resource Management, Rachel Heath. Kerry Hindmarch. Hayley Oughton. Jade Parklow. Alina Popper-Georgiou. Amanda Rodney. Jenny Stewart. Katarzyna Zaborowska. Diploma in Human Resource Management, Sharon Dempsey. Kelly Hole. Lorraine Johnson. Harriet Powell. Extended Diploma in Strategic Management and Leadership, Steve Coop. Richard Drury. Ian Sales. Mark Story. Ashraf Syed Abdul Qadir. BA Honours Business Management, Elaine Bounds. Sarjeet Kasbia. Simrat Kasbia. Melanie Mays Tanton. James Perkins. Zyron Zabir. Craig Walker. MBA Business Administration, Olga Balabina. Andrew Jolly. MSc Human Resource Management, Leanne Keatley. Sarah O'Brien. Rebecca Price. BA Applied Social Science, Jacqueline Brown. Susan Harris. Pfizer Zeb. BA Honours Criminal Justice, Hadika Abdul. Elizabeth Adams. Camilla Bochenska. Katie Doran. Rebecca Lake. Sam Sanderson. Lydia Smith. Eunice Wearmouth. Leah Wilkinson. Christine Branton. Adam Johnson. BA Honours English Studies, Joanne Gray. Naomi Turner. MA Literature and Digital Culture, Holly Glaves. Samantha Taylor. BTEC HND Diploma in Creative Media Production, Charlotte Cobban. James Mason. Emily Wiles. Foundation degree in Illustration and Concept Art, Georgia Lee. BA Honours in Illustration and Concept Art, Lawrence Grenier. Lauren Hadfield. Katie Oliver. Matthew Summerscales. BA Honours Games Design, Thomas Barber. Luke Ellis. Michael Ward. BA Honours Graphic Design, Billy Christian. Hannah Moore. Charles Smith. Freya Sterling. Anna Bowler. BA Honours Fashion and Textile Design, Rosanna Boys. Holly Fisher. Christy Lawton. Annabelle Thornton. Charlotte Weber. Emma White. Natalie Wood. BA Honours Fine Art and Crafts, Sophie Buckley. Rebecca Heptinstall. Stacey Weatherly. BA Honours Creative Music Technology, Daniel Bell. BA Honours Dance Practice, Jessica Ashton. Paige Whitfield. Leon Wilson. BA Honours Contemporary Performance Practice, Mitchell Hone. Kerry Pritchett. Michael Shackleton. Paige Smithers. Paige Wilcock. BA Honours Physical Education and Sports Coaching, William Atkinson. Amy Barker. Hayden Cahill. Liam Doyle. Tara Fletcher. Adam Lloyd. Bradley Maltby. Ryan Pearson. Thomas Rhymes. BSc Honours Sports, Exercise and Health Sciences, Jack Bridle. Ilona Didrika. Daniel Horrobin. Ellie Jones. Shane Marshall. Ed Miles. Jack Wall. BTEC HNC Diploma in Construction and the Built Environment, Lucia Chantry. Paul Johnson. Tarayi Machenje. BTEC HNC Diploma in Electrical and Electronic Engineering, David Granton. BTEC HNC Mechanical Engineering, Stanley Fern. Diploma in Professional Culinary Arts, J. Brooke. Adam Bywater. Olivia Spate. Samantha White. That completes the awards to candidates. I can now confirm that all candidates have received their awards. I would like to congratulate our new graduates and ask them to stand. Honoured guests, governors, staff, graduands, family and friends, please join me in applauding our graduates. I'm sure our graduates would like to show their appreciation for the people that have helped them along the way to completing their awards. Please turn to your family and friends and give them a round of applause. Okay, you can sit back down now. I now call upon Mr. Steve Judge, our guest speaker for the ceremony.
This is what they were shouting to me. I'm out in Beijing, China, and I've just done a triathlon. Well, to be honest, not the whole thing. Okay, so I've done the swim, I've done the bike, and I'm just doing the run section. And there I am, running around the last corner, and I can see the grandstand. And they're all cheering, they're shouting, "Come on, Steve!" And the thing is, when I hear my name being shouted, I can't help but smile, which is lovely, because it lifts me up a little bit. But then I start thinking, I can't get enough oxygen in when I'm smiling, so I think, right, don't smile. So I'm trying to concentrate, and I look ahead of me, and I can see my goal. That thing that I've been working towards, the finish line. And now I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. I'm thinking, okay, concentrate, don't smile too much, don't get nervous, just keep going, and I'm running as fast as I can, and eventually I cross the finish line. I remember saluting, going, yay! As I crossed the finish line, I turned to the audience, I was going, yay! Kind of like in recognition. And as soon as I crossed the finish line, this medal was given to me. See my hat off. This medal here. And it's put around my neck. And I thought, wow, that was quick. Did I win? Is it gold? Is it silver? So I was looking at it, and it's got some writing on it. And I thought, okay, and it's all in Chinese. I can't speak Chinese. So I thought, I don't know what it says. So I turned it over, it's got some more writing. It says Finisher's Medal. I thought, it's the Finisher's Medal. And I look around me and everybody's got them. Everybody's got the Finisher's Medal. But then I suddenly realised that I was hugging this medal really tightly. Because this medal meant a lot to me. Not only was I all the way out in Beijing, and not only was I representing Great Britain, and not only had I just done a triathlon, but 9 years before this photo was taken, I was told that I may never walk again. And so that's the story that I'd like to share with you. But before we do that, I'm going to get some, apparently it's not all about me, it's about you guys today. So I want to find out, I want you to start thinking, you've done really well today, congratulations, but I want to ask yourself, what's next? And the audience that are here, the supporters, what about you? What about everybody here? What about the people behind me? What's your goals? What's that thing that you really want? What's that thing that you want to achieve? What's that thing that when you think about it, you get a little bit nervous? But also, when you think about it, you get excited, maybe even smile a little bit. Yes, you've achieved so much over the last couple of years, maybe even 5, 6, 7 years, who knows? But what's next? What is it that you really want to do? Do you want to do more academics? Do you want to get a job? Do you want to branch out? Everybody, I want you to think about what your goal is. Because I'm going to be giving out some messages and some mentos, and I want you to think about how you can adapt them and adopt them. So as I go through the presentation, there's also something I want to clear up, is the levels of applause. Now, I've heard some today, and we need to get it sorted out. Okay, so we've got a level 1 applause going on, which I've heard quite a lot of. So that's level 1 is when you just like a pitter-patter. So we just practice that. After 3, 1, 2, 3, pitter-patter. Yeah, no, that's the one that I've heard. Okay, so level 2 is when you just raise it up a little bit, raise the tempo, a bit like, anybody watched the football over the summer since such a long time ago? England, they did really well in football, World Cup, didn't quite win the whole thing, but they did very well, so that'd be a level 2. So raise the tempo, 1, 2, 3. Okay, brilliant, very good, it's more like it. Okay, but not good enough. Level 3 is something like the, something huge. I mean, I've heard it today. It's like the golden buzzer. Some people whooping, some cheering. I know we're not American, I get that, but still, I want you to let rip. I want you to let your inhibitions fly. Level 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we like that, okay. Good, I'm glad we got that sorted. That will come later on, okay, when I hold my hand up. Okay, also, now we're going to split. So we're going to do the graduates first, because I think you should learn you should lead by example. So when I say I could hear the crowd shouting, "Go GB," I want you to shout, "Go GB" with me. Have you got that? Okay, so we're going to practice this. I could hear the crowd shouting, "Go GB!" Okay, very good. Okay, audience here, supporters, can you do any better? Okay, so when it comes to your turn, I'm going to say, I could also hear the crowd shouting, "Come on, Great Britain." Okay, you got that? So we're going to practice that after 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Great Britain! Brilliant, almost better. And now, posh feet to the heavens. So it's very personal to me. Don't look down here, please. Okay? Yours is "Come on, Steve." Okay? So what are you laughing at? Right, so after 3, 1, 2, 3. Come on, Steve! Very good. See, there's not many of you. I think you've done really well there. Okay, so we're going to carry on because actually it is all about me. So we're going to get back to my story. This is me when I was about 10 years old. I love to run. This is me doing the Retford 10K. I would run anywhere and everywhere. That's my brother on the right. I'm the good-looking one on the left. I went to Hayfield School. Hayfield Comprehensive, thank you. Okay, so Hayfield School, I'm the small one, as the youngest one in my family. Love the uniform, brown, I think they've improved from that. I also love scouting. Scouting was a big thing for me. I used to live in Bawtry, so I used to go to Bawtry Scouts. And I was a scout that used to take the badges home, with the badge book. I used to take the badge book home, and I used to look through that badge book and look and see which badge that I wanted next. And that would be my goal. And then I'd ask for help from my mum, my dad, from the scout leader, and they would help me to work towards it. Now, I left school and I worked down the pit. I worked down Maltby Pit. I worked in Bentley at Cementation Mining, Trafalgar House Group, but I came to Doncaster College and I graduated. And I enjoyed it here. It was very hard. I did an intense day release. I used to go to the library over the road on my evenings off to study more, because for me it was information overload on one day, so I had to spread it out. But I eventually achieved my goal and I graduated. Now, I carried on with running through my young adult years because I loved to run. It was my thing. That takes me to 2002. And I was driving on the outskirts of Sheffield. There was a bit of rain on the road and my car lost control. It skidded, there's nobody else on the road, nobody else in the car, I wasn't speeding. And I skidded off the road and did a side impact against a pole, and the car just bent in half. And both my legs got crushed. Now I couldn't get out of the car. Everybody came to save me, the paramedics, the ambulance, the police, the fire brigade. And it took them about an hour to cut the car apart, piece by piece, to eventually get through to me. and they could reach me, and they dragged me out of the car, and they put me into a nearby waiting ambulance. And that took me to the nearest hospital, to the Northern General Hospital in Sheffield. I can remember the ambulance trip very clearly, because the other two guys in it were called Steve and Steve. And I remember them saying, "Okay, Steve?" I said, "Yes, Steve." I said, "Right, good, Steve. Right, Steve, are you okay? We're going to go very fast, Steve. Okay, Steve? Yes, Steve? We're going to go very safely, Steve. Okay, Steve? Right, Steve. Good, Steve. Right, off we go." So they took me off to Northern General Hospital. To be honest, I like Steve's. Steve's are good. Okay, they saved my life, gave me lots of blood, took me to the hospital. They got me ready, took me towards the operating theatre, and that's where I met my surgeon. Now, his name was Simon. I didn't know Simon. He looked at my legs and he said, "Mr. Judge, we're going to see what we can do. But because your right leg is really bad, we may even have to amputate your right leg." Again, these aren't words that I thought I'd hear that morning. I can remember looking into the surgeon's eyes and just saying, "Please, just do the best that you can." And with that, he took me off into the operating theatre for him to operate on me. 8 hours later, I woke up. And it was around this time when the surgeon was doing his rounds. He comes over to my bed. He says, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I feel terrible, really groggy." He said, "I want to tell you that the operation was successful, and we managed to save your legs, but due to the severity of your injuries, you may never walk again." I think when somebody gives you information like that, it's very much a fight or flight. I think the flight would be when you just roll over in bed, you just give in, and you go, "Okay, I guess I'll never walk again." And the opposite is the fight. I can remember feeling really angry. How dare somebody say that to me? I can remember lying there, looking up at the surgeon, thinking, "Who are you? Who are you to tell me that I will never walk again? I mean, your name's not even Steve." Steve's okay, I like Steve's. But he had a point. So my injuries were really bad. Let me try and explain my meaning here. My left leg was wrenched part of the knee, so just wrenched sideways. So the 4 ligaments that you've got in your knee, those were ripped out. My right leg, let me show you, with the aid of a prop. Okay, so imagine my tibia bone. My tibia bone was broken once, twice, leaving 4 inches of bone that was considered no good by the surgeons in the operating theatre. And consequently, this was just thrown away. That left me with a very short leg. As you can imagine, that's what I woke up to. And would you like to see an x-ray of this? It's quite warm in here, nobody feeling too queasy or anything. I am a first aider, and this is my risk assessment. And I'm not joking. So, okay, so here's the x-ray. You see there. Okay, so you got that? You okay with that? Do you want to see a photo? It's a bit more graphic. Yes, they shouted, "Yes, we want to see it." Oh, cool. Okay, so here's the photo. Well, you said you wanted to see it. It was my responsibility to twist those bolts day after day after day, to slowly stretch the skin and the muscle and the ligaments, and wrench the bone apart to form a gap of 4 inches. And that's what I had to do. Now, during this process, there were many complications and lots of rehabilitation and lots of physio. Has anyone done physio in the room? Put your hand up if you've done some physio in the room. A few people, quite a few people, okay? Isn't it the most boring, painful, monotonous thing? You've got to do it 3 times a day or whatever they tell you. So I was doing all of that. And while I was doing that, I was trying to, I had this gap in my leg that was getting bigger and bigger. And I said, I've got to grow this bone back. Now, I don't know about you, but how do you grow bone? I just thought you just drank lots of milk, ate lots of cheese. But apparently not. The surgeon says to me, he says, "No, Mr. Judge, you have to stand on your leg, you have to walk on your leg. Trust the cage." I'm like, "Trust the cage? You trust the fucking cage." But that's what I had to do. Now, I live in Sheffield, very hilly. I needed to find somewhere flat. I found a place called Rother Valley. Do anybody know Rother Valley? Yeah, I love Rother Valley, so it's good. So, got my car, crutches in my hand, drove down to Rother Valley. My brain screaming out to me, "Don't do it!" But I knew that I had to. Grabbing those crutches, slowly, watch my foot as it entered the floor. Ah! The pain would shoot through me, made me feel cold and lightheaded. Ah! Should have seen the people in the park. They're like, "What is he doing? This guy's crazy." But I kept stepping bit by bit, walking round the side of the lake, and eventually I saw a park bench closer to me than the car was behind me. I reached that park bench, and I sat there and I rested, and I recovered, and I wiped the tears away. I looked at my watch, 34 minutes, my pedometer, half a mile. That's a joke. I used to be a runner. I felt demoralised, I felt deflated. And then I looked down at my cage, and the pins were bleeding, and I was exhausted. And I knew that I couldn't have gone any further that day. I knew at that point that I'd been the best that I could be. And I had no regrets. And with that, gave me the compulsion to get up. I started to feel a bit cold. I remember walking all the way back to the car, grunting out loud, grunting on every single step. Got back to the car and I closed the door this time so nobody could see me crying. I got home and I collapsed. I had a sleepless night that night with muscle spasms. The next day, I was completely exhausted. And the day after that, I got up and I did it all again. And sometimes I fell. And many times I cried. But eventually, I got past that first park bench, and then onto the next park bench. And then I set my sights onto the next park bench, and I carried on, round the top of the lake, and onto the next park bench. It's a good story about benchmarking here, if you really think about it. But over the next year and a half, my bone, it did grow back, and the cage, it was removed. And I got to where I am standing and walking again, following the message of always to be the best that I could be, to make sure that I had no regrets. Now, my goal is to get back to normal. I realise there's no such thing as normal. Let me explain. They put to repair my left leg, they put some new ligaments in there from a pig. So I've got 4 pig ligaments in my knee. I don't ask too many questions. I feel a little bit guilty when I have a bacon sandwich, but otherwise it's okay. My right leg is the right length. But I've got lap calf muscles, thin tissue, my right ankle doesn't move a lot at all. To physically show you, if I stand on one leg, it's good physio, I can just about jump. On my right leg, that was it, there's nothing there. Okay, so there's no movement there, it gives me a lot of pain. So I had to start thinking about what I could do, rather than what I couldn't do. So I got into swimming, I started swimming, that's okay. I got into cycling, I could do that. And somebody said to me, Steve, you're always setting goals and working towards them. You're setting challenges. Have you always been like this? So I thought back to when I was in Doncaster and Bawtry and when I was in Cubs and Scouts and I found this photo of me. This is when I was 10 and a half years old. I've just got Cub of the Year. You can see the shield. But if you look on my right-hand side, those 3 badges, the red, yellow and green one, my first 3 badges that I ever got in Scouting were swimming, cycling and running. And this gave me the compulsion to look further, look for a new challenge. So I searched the internet and I found this thing called triathlon. I thought, I can't do the running thing, not with these legs. But as I scrolled down, there's this thing called triathlon for disabled people. So I went down to get registered and they assessed me to see if I was disabled and they did some tests on me, gave me lots of exercises, asked me lots of questions. And afterwards they said, Mr. Judge, you are disabled. For me, this meant that I had no more excuses to lean on. For me, this meant that I had an open door. For me, I had a goal. Because they asked me, said, Steve, can you run? And I said, not yet. I hadn't run for 7.5 years, but now I had a goal. So I started running. I must admit, I sounded like a one-legged elephant coming down the road. But I was running for the first time in a long time. Fast forward to the race. It's down at Rother Valley. Special place for me. Meeting the other para-triathletes from around the UK. Amazing people, not leaning on their excuses. Some with missing arms, some with missing legs. I go to meet them all, we get into the water, and ready for the horn to go off and to do the swim first. The horn goes off, and we're swimming along as fast as we can. I get to the end of the swim, I come out of the swim, I grab my bike, I realise that in my category, I'm the first one there, I'm leading the pack. So I've got on my bike now, I'm cycling, pump my legs as fast as I can, going round Rother Valley, round and round and round, come off the bike, wrap the bike, and I can see that I'm still in first place in my category. This is great. I'm now running round Rother Valley, the same place where I did the walking. And as I'm running around, I can see the park benches that I used to sit down in tears and in pain. And I thought, that's not me anymore. I've moved on from that point. And that compelled me to push it even further and further and faster. 1K, 2K, 3K. I could hear the tannoy system calling me home. I pushed it as fast as I could, to cross the line, becoming a British champion that day, because of the British Champs Power Triathlon. But more than that, on that day, an official came up to me and said, "Steve, would you like to represent Great Britain?" I was like, hell yeah. I would love that. Now, the thing about this is that opportunities are around us all the time. From this point onwards, from your lives, from what you've achieved, what's next? What opportunities are out there? Because they are. You've got to see them, you've got to hear them, you've got to smell them. And when you do, grab hold of them with both hands. That's what I did. It's going to be difficult for me. I had a full-time job working in construction, health and safety, as a health and safety manager. I also had a family with 2 kids. So I was thinking it was going to be complicated, but I really wanted to grab this opportunity. The first thing I did was I set my alarm for 5:30 in the morning. That was my time. So I'd get up early, I'd go swimming at Ponds Forge, then I'd go to work, working in the town centre. At lunchtime, I'd go for a run. We had no showers while I worked. I literally had a bucket and a sponge in a cubicle. I then had the afternoon when I carried on working. I then got home, played with the kids, put the kids to bed, then I'd be out on my bike, training. I was thinking about what I could do rather than what I couldn't do all the time. From that, I was setting goals as well. So I became British champion again. Then I became European champion. And then I set my goals to become world champion out in China, Beijing. So that's where we are now. Are you ready? This is your part that we talked about earlier. Okay, so getting there, meeting the power triathletes from around the world, amazing people, not leaving their excuses. We line up. And then they call your name out. Representing Great Britain, Steve Judge. So nervous. You get there, you lower yourself into the water, waiting for the horn to go off. Everybody's waiting. It's going to be one mad, all-from rush to the nearest boy. And the horn goes off. Ah! And you're swimming as fast as you can. High elbow, reach long, pull strong. I'm swimming. I come out and I get to my bike and I can see that my bike is the one there. All the other bikes are there, so I'm winning in my category. I grab my bike and I'm now cycling round the reservoir outside Beijing, cycling as fast as I can, pump my legs, and I'm looking ahead of me. Now, in power triathlon, there's lots of different categories depending on your disability. So there are some people overtaking me, but they're not in my category. But sometimes it's very hard to work out as I'm cycling on whether they're in my category or not. And I'm literally counting how many legs they've got and how many arms they've got. So, yeah, let them go. No, don't chase that one. So I'm doing as fast as I can. I come to the end of my bike, and I wrap my bike. I'm in first place against the rest of the world. So now we've got 5k on the run, and it's a loop circuit. I'm running as fast as I can. Now I know that the American and the French guy, they catch me up bit by bit. Oh, just pull this off. Bit by bit. It's a bit energetic. I'm not used to doing this in the road. So, bit energetic. So they're catching me up, and I'm looking over my shoulder. The American and the French guy, they are catching me, but I'm pushing as fast as I can. And then I can see round the next corner coming up, that's the last corner. So as I get to the corner, the crowd, they are so loud. The crowd, they're shouting, "Go GB!" They're shouting, "Come on, Great Britain!" And specifically, don't let me down, they're shouting, "Come on, Steve!" Very good. And I can't help but smile, okay, because it lifts my legs up a little bit more. But I'm trying to get the oxygen in, and then I can see the finish line. That thing that I've been working towards, that goal of mine, my gold. And I push it as fast as I can, try not to be nervous, and I cross the finish line to grab the gold medal. And so, my quest carried on. I set many other goals in my international career, but eventually I retired in 2013. With my new time that I had available, there's only one thing that I could really do, and that's go back to scouting. I'm now a Cub Scout leader for a local group, giving fun, challenge, adventure to the new generation. Secretly, I'm giving them life skills and opportunities. Who knows where those badges will take them. I've also set my own business up. My 3 principles, my goals, are to help people, to inspire others, and to motivate many. But what about you? What's that goal? What's that thing that you've been thinking about while I've been talking? What's that next step that you're going to take? You know, on your journey, there's going to be many barriers in your way. You've got to see those barriers as excuses. And to smash them down, you've got to turn those excuses into challenges. There will be times when you feel like you've not achieved your goal. Don't change the goal. change the plan. There may be times when you feel like you failed. There's no such thing as failure, only feedback. But on your journey, every single step of the way, you must always, always be the best that you can be. Because if you do that, then you'll have no regrets. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the College and University Centre, I'd like to thank the staff who have organised and operated the event, and the teaching staff for their skill and dedication in providing a programme of teaching. Please join me in applauding them. That concludes the ceremony. Guests, please stand while the graduates exit.